title. This one is The Meandering Path to Creativity. Creative Joy, sorry, creative joy, whatever. This artist has been, wow, her involvement with art has spanned about 60 years, but it's not until recently that she's discovered the secret joy of the process of creating the art. So, here she is in her artwork. Joyce Manier.
I'm not a professional artist, but I do have a story about art that I'm going to tell you. The story starts about 60 years ago. I was about 4 years old. I was sitting in our kitchen at the table coloring, as usual. And my mother was standing at the sink doing dishes, as usual. And I asked her, is there any job that I can have when I grow up where I can just sit and color all day? And she stopped what she was doing, turned and looked at me, and she said, well, you could be an artist. And I was so happy. I thought, okay, great. My future is planned now. I know exactly what I am going to do. I'm going to be surrounded by books. I'm going to have 50 dogs and 50 cats, and I'm going to be an artist. And so this thought process carried me through to 2nd grade. We all walked down to the basement one day where we had our art classes, and we got to meet our brand new art teacher, Miss Georgiani. Now to me, Miss Georgiani, it was just love at first sight. She was the most beautiful creature I've ever seen in my life. She had, well, most of the other mothers and women that I knew had like a version of the June Cleaver haircut, kind of like mine today. Miss Georgiani had this long, wavy, beautiful red hair. And every day she wore about the same outfit, which consisted of a pair of either red or yellow high heels, a pencil skirt with like a kick pleat in the back, an extremely tight-fitting sweater, and no bra. Even as, you'll have to trust me on this, even as an innocent little 2nd grader, I knew that Miss Georgiani wore no bra whatsoever. She eventually apparently got the idea because she started wearing a bra. So that's neither here nor there. But it really made a big impression on me. So we went to Miss Georgiani's class one day, and she had an exciting new project to share with us. She was making us a part of an art exchange program where we were supposed to draw pictures of our houses, and we were going to send them to a class in Japan. They were going to draw pictures of where they live and send them to us. And in my mind, there was just one little problem with this. I hated the house that I lived in. To me, I lived in a pink brick ranch nightmare. It was just horrible. And so I decided, I'll just draw a picture of the house that I want to live in. So, oh, Walt Disney would have been so proud. I drew a picture of a little cottage. It had a red front door, and it had like the little diamond paned mullion windows. It had a thatched roof, believe it or not. It had a chimney with smoke coming out the top. And then I landscaped. I drew great big purple flowers all over the front yard, and a big tree that was dripping stars. And I was just convinced that Japanese children in this class were going to take one look at my drawing, and they were going to beg their parents for trips to the United States so they could see more of these beautiful little houses. So Miss Georgiani was making her rounds around the room looking at our progress. She came to where I was working, and she tapped her finger on my paper, and she said, "Do you live in a house that looks like this?" I can't do a New York accent. She was from New York. But anyway, she said, "You do not live in a house that looks like this. You're supposed to draw a picture of the house that you live in." She said, "I cannot send this picture to Japan. These children would get the wrong idea of what American houses look like." And then she turned to the class, and she had everybody's attention by that time, and she said, art should be real and it should look real. Well, after that, you know, I still love Miss Georgiani. She was my favorite, but I had serious doubts about myself. I was convinced that I couldn't really draw what I was seeing. What I was seeing was something different than what other people saw. I didn't understand why I couldn't draw things the way they really looked and why I didn't have the desire to. My family is kind of full of artists. My mother was a talented watercolor artist in her own right. My brother and sister both were very talented. My sister drew a copy one time of the Praying Hands. I don't know if you're familiar with that, the Praying Hands. And it was supposed to be a gift for my grandmother for her birthday. And all I could think of was, oh, I'd love to put some rings on those fingers and fingernail polish on it. My brother drew a really neat picture of a hawk that's flying down over a rabbit running through a field. And it was so great that I saw glitter all over the hawk, needed glitter. And I was thinking, well, I could just draw a lacy little collar or necklace around the bunnies. I realize now that I was asking a lot of my little 7-year-old self, but what I really learned from all that was that there were 2 rules about art. Number 1, it wasn't good unless it looked like a photograph. Number 2, it wasn't worth creating if no one else appreciated it. So by that time, the joy of creating art was kind of gone for me. I still created things. I painted through the years. I drew. I designed counted cross-stitch designs. I made jewelry. But I always had this pattern that would ensue where I would create, no one would accept it, and so I would just quit whatever I was doing. But, you know, they say that, I got my little cheat notes here. When one door closes, another one will open. And this is so true, because about 9 years ago, it was just a wonderful thing in my life. My wonderful son married a beautiful woman who had a beautiful little 3-year-old girl. And I was so excited. I got to be her grandma. I got to be one of her grandmas. And we spent lots of time together, and one of her favorite things to do was to sit and paint or draw or color. And what was really great about her was that she didn't want to color the designs that she saw in coloring books. She wanted to make her own designs, and she would paint them and color them. And I just loved watching the joy that she put into her artwork. It was so colorful, and she was so free while she was doing this. I wanted that, but I just didn't know how to get it back. I really wanted it so bad. So 2015 came along, and I was lucky enough to go to, I believe it was the first Pull Up a Chair, 2015.
It was actually 16. It was a year ago tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, so I had heard that a photographer named Angie Leisure was going to be showing some of her artwork. And I was mostly familiar with Angie by her photographs. She'd taken pictures of a lot of my favorite people. And I'd seen one of her paintings, but I wanted to see more. So I was sitting there, and the woman started telling Angie's story. And Angie was talking about how when she first started putting the paint on the canvas, it helped her feel free. And then she talked about how she wanted that good feeling to keep going on, so she would paint more and more. And every time she did, she felt like she was a little bit closer to the self that she had kind of left behind. And I thought, wow, something clicked there. So I wanted to feel that. I wanted to feel that freedom, and I wanted to get back to that little girl that I kind of forgotten about, that wanted to be surrounded by the books and have dogs and cats and sit and color all day. So I've been interested in making collage for a long time, just as a way to kind of preserve some of my happier memories and use a lot of the little things that I had around the house that mean something to me, and as an excuse to use lots of glitter. Glitter is the best. So, one day I just started working. I like symbolism too, and so I wanted to put a lot of this into my work. And the more I worked, the more joy I felt. And all of a sudden, I figured out this secret that I didn't care anymore if anybody liked what I was doing. I was happy inside, and that's what really matters. So, I've kind of come full circle. I'd like to show you a few of the things that I've done. This is my learning collage. This was the first one I did, and it's kind of like about being a little girl. There's a ball here where I kept a ball under my arm, I think, most of the time. Because you never know when you're going to meet another kid to play ball with. There are crayons and lots of shiny, sparkly things. So it was my learning collage. I made a lot of mistakes on it, but that's okay. I learned from those mistakes. And then I took one of the drawings that I had done a long time ago, and I kind of repurposed it with putting paint behind it and everything. And let's see, who's number 3? Here we go. I want to show you my favorite one because this is one that is really special to me. My husband and I decided that we were going to paint Christmas tree ornaments. We had done this the first year that we were married, and so last year we decided we were going to do that again, paint ornaments. And every time we cleaned our brushes, I noticed these paper towels had these really cool little designs all over. So when we got done with that project, I said, hey, save those paper towels because I think I might be able to do something with this. And also, this has some really special stuff on it. My daughter-in-law's parents gave us a beautiful Christmas card, and when they gave it to us, I said, don't be surprised if I cut that all apart and use these really pretty things on it and put it on a collage. So that's what I did. It's kind of like my version of the winter solstice. And then the last one that I've finished recently, I love Italian mille fiori. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like an Italian form of glass blowing. It's really neat, and I just love that. By the way, mille fiori means 1,000 flowers, which it doesn't get any better than that, right? So these are some of the things I've been working on. I feel like I've kind of come full circle because I'm still surrounded by a whole lot of books. I have one dog, one cat, and a lot of their fur is on a lot of not leave me alone, and they're very fuzzy. I have a really special coffee mug at home that I try to drink from every day. It has one of my very favorite sayings on it from a man named Joseph Campbell, and it says, find a place inside where there's joy, and the joy will burn out the pain. So that's kind of what I'm wishing for all of you tonight, that you find that really special place inside where you've got lots of joy. Because it'll burn out the pain. And before I leave, I just want to, he doesn't know I'm going to do this. I want to recognize somebody really special. Sorry, I thought all the tears were gone when I listened to real music. My husband doesn't really like the art that I make, and that is totally okay. And I'll tell you why. This man has bought canvases, paints, pencils, paper, anything that I would possibly need, and he supports me that way. So he's just wonderful.